Hello, everybody, and thanks for watching. Thank you for joining. I'm so glad that you made it. Sorry for the confusion on the times today, guys. I was thinking that I would start it um, at 11, and then I thought maybe I should start later in the afternoon at like 1, but it looks like 12 o'clock sort of landed on the right time to start for today. So we'll see how this one goes. We'll see how many viewers we get. And this is just coffee and chat and whatever with me, Sherry, on different cases that we're following. So one of the missing persons cases we have is Jayme Closs. I also wanted to touch base on the California fires that are happening. Oh my goodness, at least the Wolseley fire is 96% contained, thank goodness. However, there's still quite a lot of catastrophe happening around the world. How's it going, Sharon? Hello, Kelly, you're back. Your mom popped in. Oh, cool. That's awesome. I'm so glad everybody could join. So it looks like, hello, Mr. No Ali Noon. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name properly. Hi, Steve. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Elena. Yay, I'm so glad everybody's made it. That's awesome. So it looks like maybe giving you a bit of time on a shout out of, here, this is when we're going to do this. Come and join. Maybe it worked a little bit better to have some more viewers. So this is great. I hope everybody has their nice coffee or whatever they're drinking at the moment. Pull this a little bit closer for me. Okay, and hi, DJ Richards. All right, so we've got a few things that we're going to talk about today. So first off, obviously Christopher Watts, the sentencing hearing. I don't know how many of you guys got to catch that live, but wow. I don't know how many of you caught the fact that his leg was just, constantly bouncing, like while he's sitting there, it was pretty obvious that he was nervous. The only time that I noticed that he even looked up was to look at Frankie Jr. and he looked at his parents. And the only two words that he said during the entire court proceeding, excuse my shirt, was no, sir. Right? Hi, Too Crazy Alex. You made it. You set my live. No, well, Sharon, I actually changed my live times. I'm going to start them now from 12 to 2 kind of thing, just to get some more viewers. And I realized that with the time zone differences, you guys, that I was starting, at a morning time where it was still like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for some people. So I wanted to include as many people as I could. And I thought a later start date might really serve all of us well. So he was a wreck, right, Ellen? Honestly, I mean, you could see his leg just bouncing, just nervous as heck as the evidence was getting presented. And what kind of evidence was that, right? So we had a little bit of a look at the autopsies, and we now know that Shanann wasn't beaten senselessly. She didn't have bruises all over her body. In fact, she just had a little nail scratch mark from a fingernail on her neck. And you saw the leg moving too, right, DJ Richards? Very restless, Kelly, I agree. And yeah, Sharon, you're welcome. I'm glad that it worked out so that everybody could join, timeline wise. So thanks for the compliments. And no, there's definitely no sympathy for him. I mean, I understand his parents are always going to love him, and that's totally understandable. I mean, most people would continue loving their family member even though they did something horrible, that's fine. But what really kind of irritated me a little bit was the fact that they took the opportunity to use the victim impact statement. Now, that victim impact statement was their right, in conjunction with the fact that they lost their grandchildren. So that was an opportunity for them to sort of tell Chris what that has done to their lives and how they feel about that. they literally took like a fraction of a second to sort of say something about Bella and Celeste and quickly moved on into, we love you and we forgive you and we're, very sorry and all of this kind of shadowing him into a better light that in my opinion is impossible to do now that he's admitted to these crimes. And their attorney, oh my goodness, like that's all I could think of was, wow, did this representative ever take an opportunity to sort of not really take up for what he's done, like state that they know that he is the criminal in this situation. I feel like they spent far too much time sort of talking about kind of nonsense, the process of how he was handled, the confession process. There was so many different things that they tried to sort of say, okay, well, this wasn't really done properly and the process wasn't handled properly on this part. Meanwhile, if that was the case, guys, those motions and all of those things should have been sought long ago. Those kind of things needed to be filed in the beginning of the proceeding, not when we're at the sentencing hearing. That's like their last stitch effort to try to say, wait a minute, hey, hold on, we gotta look at the process again. Give me a break. Like, we already went through the process and you guys had your due diligent time to file for whatever, proceeding that you thought was not happening properly. You had your time to do that and you didn't do any of that. And then you're going to stand there at the sentencing hearing and, I don't know, like to each their own, but holy, like, I think that was more geared towards the fact that there was victims in this case that were still alive because of what he did, and those victims are the grandparents and, the aunts, the uncles, you know what I mean? Oh, let's see here. I want to know why they faced the judge instead of all facing the murderer. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just respect for the person that's about to make the decision, to be honest. Like, that's just kind of like the basics when you go into the courtroom. That is who you're facing and serving the honorable judge there and presenting your information. So, and like I said, this isn't the first time that the defense has been able to bring forth, whatever statement that they feel wasn't handled properly, whatever process wasn't handled properly. This should not have been the opportunity that they took to address that, So let's see what else we got here. The Watts parents did seem to change their tune, though, after speaking to the prosecutor and seeing evidence. They could no longer deny their son committed these horrific crimes. Absolutely. And I think that they could have taken that opportunity to address that crime a little bit more versus just, we love you, son, and we hope that, we hope that how much we love you and we forgive you and that kind of stuff. Like, he took your grandchildren away for life. I mean, you can never see them or visit them, hear them laugh or sing or, I don't think that the opportunity that they took in the victim impact statement was necessarily done correctly, but that's my personal opinion. And for sure, give me your thoughts on it if you guys thought that it was, totally normal the way that they handled that. The guy's a horrible monster. I know. And it was just heart-wrenching. Like, I just wanted to praise Shanann's family for doing such an amazing job standing up there and reading out their victim impact statements. I could not keep myself together. Like, I was crying. I was a mess. It was really, really sad to watch, that much hurt and pain come from her dad and knowing how close they were and everything. It's just, hi, Sunkissed. Hi, Annie. Hi, Ellen. You guys, everybody made it. I'm so glad. I think, yes, Ellen, I said hi to you already. Sorry. That may happen. I may repeat myself, But regardless, it's like his mother had no sympathy for those babies or Shanann. I know they didn't get one, but come on. She had no remorse for them. She certainly didn't display very much remorse. She more displayed remorse for the fact that her son is now going to jail for life and consecutively with no possibility of parole ever. And so he should. I mean, who else thinks that he may have gone on into another relationship and done this to someone else? Like, seriously. The ultimate wall. Batman is a hero to me because I have learned many good things from him. He has showed me that it is better to care for everyone than just the people who are close to you. Well, that's an awesome tidbit, and I really appreciate you sharing that. That is so awesome. The ultimate wall. Clapping for you. So I cried so much, Sharon. Honestly, I had a box of Kleenex right beside me with my coffee and everything, and I was just a basket case, you know? I literally had to clean myself up before I could go on to do the story, the update. The Ruzick families were too good to this psychopath. No kidding. I mean, how much did it break your heart to hear Shanann's father say, like, I trusted you. I gave you my daughter and I trusted you. Like, what a slap in the face. I mean, come on. Hi, the ultimate wall. But you want to find out sun kissing, you want to find out how he thought nobody was going to look at him. No kidding, right? After he advertises his, lies all over media. No kidding, right? Excuse my slurp. That was rude. Sorry. Sue, hi, how are ya? Do I think he will top himself? You know what? It's very possible now that the sentence hearing is over and he has so many consecutive life sentences, plus 84, 86 years on top of that. I mean, the guy is never going to see the light of day. He is gone for life. And without the possibility of parole, he won't even ever have a chance to go in front of a parole board, or will he have the chance to make Shanann's family relive this nightmare in having to try to explain to the parole board why they don't think that he should be released? I mean, that's exactly what has to happen when you go through a parole process, is somebody needs to be there to vouch for the victim in saying, no, like, don't let this person get out. Sorry, I'm gonna lose your guys' comments. Once they kill, they will kill. It's an addiction. Yeah, I feel like it's possible it could be serial killer for sure. And he may kill himself. We have no idea. But I would suspect going from, making $140,000 a year down to bankruptcy, murder, and jail cell, the possibility is there that mentally he might just say, I can't do this anymore, and, take his own life. But that we don't know, right? I mean, that's just a guess. You can't believe Chris threw his life away for a side chick he only knew for a couple of months. No kidding, right? Dare to be different. Hi, Pravika. You're Robbie? Okay, nice to meet you. Your first time, Sue, from the UK? I'm so glad to have you. And then we have Twinkle Winks. I would feel much better about this whole case if he showed some real emotion at least. I don't care if it's remorse or anger. I mean, come on. It isn't normal for him to be kind of careless about this. I totally agree with you. Wonder why his girlfriend erased their text messages. I don't know. I have a feeling that girl might know more than what she's trying to tell us about. I don't know if he will have the balls to kill himself, Annie C says. And then Sharon, you're saying you lived in a situation like this, but your son and lived through it. Yeah, that's crazy. Hi, Lahaina. Bonjour. Comment ça va? How are you? Ellen, you think that he will? I think it's a very high possibility. I mean, like, he went from having everything to having nothing. So it's a high possibility. I don't know, too crazy, Alex, if they're going to be watching him too closely anymore, And DJ, you're saying you no longer feel real sorrow for the girlfriend. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel that she knows more than what she's stating. But yeah, I don't want to put things out there, but wouldn't it be a crazy twist if the girlfriend was involved in, in whatever, in any part of this, right? Black coffee or cream and sugar. Mine is a mixture. If you can see, it's kind of creamy base there, but I don't like cream personally. But mine is brown sugar and a little bit of a like like a powder creamer or whatever. Powdered milk, I guess you could say. About which story are we talking about? We're talking about the Chris Watts trial or sentencing hearing that literally just passed us on Monday the 19th, so yesterday. They usually become very spiritual in the pen. Yes, that's possible, and maybe he will, maybe he will choose that route. I know that his father did state, his mother and father stated the Bible at their victim impact statement, right? So, it's possible that he takes that route. Probably embarrassing sexting between the two. That's very possible, dare to be different. But I would hope that the authorities would have gone through her phone to see if she had any other involvement. And Susan, you're saying you thought his defense kept patting him. I know, I saw that too. Excuse me. Just put pick up in a cell autopsy photos. Yeah. Saying he's a hero. Yeah, I know. That was pretty heart-wrenching. Hi, Rhonda. You do feel if he had gotten away with it that he could very well kill again. What he did was the ultimate discard. Absolutely. And it shows it was premeditated, Rhonda, in the fact that he was messaging a coworker and stating that he was going to take care of the oil site and that they need not worry about it because he was going to go down there and do that. That was the day before the murders, you guys. So tell me that that's not premeditated at that point, right? Because to me, I would think that is. Like, you had a lot of time to think about that if you're talking to a coworker the day before. Tracy, hi Tracy, really think she knows more than she's saying. Yes. Wondering if the USA prison system's compared to San Antonio. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that the death row would have been a piece of cake for him. No, Steve, the crime happened in Colorado. Thank you, Annie. Realized, so looks like it would have been a conflict of interest with her being at the sentencing. I don't know if it would have been a conflict of interest because, like, in what way? I mean, whatever, right? It was his shoddy choices. I'm trying to censor myself. It was his crappy choices. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for watching. It was his crappy choices that brought him down this alley anyways. So I don't understand how any of them, his family members, can be kind of like just not really looking at that. They're like, oh, we still love you and all of that. And that's great. But tell him that on a phone call. Don't use the victim impact statement time to tell your son, the murderer of your grandchildren, that you love him so much and you forgive him. Like, come on. I had mentioned the victim's rights spokesperson took quite a bit of time. I agree. It went on and on. Mother Watts spoke anyways. Exactly. Yeah. I totally agree with you. Lahaina, poor Bella with her hair. I know. The hair got caught in the 8-inch diameter hole that he stuffed her through on the oil thing. And not only that, but her buttocks was scraped. I guess Celeste was a lot smaller, so she fit easier, but how heartbreaking to hear his part of that confession even say that he knew one of the oil wells was more empty than the other due to the sound of the splash that their bodies made. Like, oh my gosh, talk about turn you over and just roll your eyes. Like, are you serious, buddy? I mean, come on, right? I know I'm trying not to miss your comments here. Did everyone believe he did it in all interviews from day one? Sue Reeves was very much I was very neutral. I realized that he had sort of admitted that he did something in the beginning and then he kind of changed his story because she had potentially done something. And then it later came out that no, she didn't do anything. He did it all. So I kind of prided myself on staying in the middle on the topic because I wanted the evidence. And they kept sort of barring us from being able to see anything. So it was really difficult for me to fully accept the first confession because of the stories that he brought into it afterwards. And I had wondered if there was any truth to it, you know, in all honesty. But, you know, after hearing him confess, I didn't doubt it any longer. Like, you have said you're guilty not once but twice now. I believe you are guilty now, you know? Let me just, I'm missing some comments. You don't think the girlfriend had anything to do with the murder? She had not met any of his family or close friends. Yeah, that's very true. Otherwise, why did she go to the police before he confessed? Well, Nicole, her best friend, is the one who went to the police, but Nicole Kessinger is Chris Watts's mistress. He despised his wife and daughters despite the good show he put on videos. Yeah, he didn't really put on much of a show, in my opinion, but he did throw them out like garbage. Hi, Jessica. I so wished they would put a recording of Shanann and the girls laughing and keep it playing 24/7 for him to have to listen to. Yeah, just makes you sick. I totally understand where you're coming from, and that is frustrating. Where was his sister who said she always had to make nice with Shanann? I'm not sure where she was, to be honest. She loved her hair. Lahaina, who loved her hair? And Ellen, if Nicole didn't call the cops, who knows if he would be in jail yet. Now, no kidding. He may have been a lot more conniving and cunning in order to hide all of his, you know, traces and stuff like that. So, hi, Trudy. All right, dare to be different. 8 inches is a tiny hole, horrific to think about him trying to force the babies through this. Absolutely brutal. Hi, Irene. Chris Watts' mother didn't even like Shanann. That's true. DJ, how did they ever get to the conversation? Because he told them about that conversation, or like Chris had that conversation with authorities about the splash sounds. And that got reiterated by the district attorney during court proceedings. And like that was a horrible tidbit, right? I was at work yesterday watching and listening, and I heard that about the girls. I just couldn't breathe. I was almost hyperventilating. I know, Tracy. I totally agree with you. Is Chris Watts' girlfriend still interested in him? I don't know. I really don't. Let's hope not. She's playing the victim card as well, and I don't know how sincere it is or not. I don't know how much she knows or not. Hey, Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin is a great additive to answer questions here too. In one video with the, I'm sorry, Lahaina, what is that word? Whip dream or something? She didn't want nothing in her hair. She loved hair clips. Right. The girls loved playing with the hair clips too, right? So really, really sad. Did everybody know that Shanann's dad now has to fight for power of attorney because Shanann died without a will? So that is a potential legal battle that, you know, Mr. Ruzick is trying to get a handle on. Call you Jules? Okay, I will. I might forget that though. Too crazy. Thank God her best friend getting case going to, he would have kept going and killing both women and children. I think he got a rush killing. It's very possible that he got a rush from that. I think it's pretty conniving that he hid them the way that he did, you know, carrying them outside of the home, like 3 separate trips. That video camera footage was picked up on the neighbor's camera. So Whipped cream. Oh yes, the whipped cream videos. Yeah, that was, I don't know if it was exactly whipped cream, but it was certainly something, because it didn't seem to go like all over the face. It kind of hit it and fell down, so it didn't really stick to the face. But I knew he was guilty from smirking smile interview. Right, critters. He definitely seemed he seemed fidgety. He seemed like full of lies, right? But the injuries to Bella and the fact that she had bit her tongue so many times just shows um, how much she was actually fighting for her life with her father smothering her, right? Because both the girls were smothered, and then Shanann was strangled. So, and it's also good to know, you guys. I don't know if any of the viewers that are on watching right now were some of the viewers who thought that the oil was hot and that the girls were getting cooked. That's wrong. They were not. And in fact, that oil did preserve some DNA that they were able to, you know, take from their bodies and preserve. So just as I had suspected in a sense, but someone had embellished that and thought that maybe that oil was hot and compared it to a slow cooker, which had it have been hot, yes, that would have been the effect that it would have done. But that wasn't the case with the oil at the Anadark site. It was not hot. So the bank does not necessarily fully get the house, because it has to be sold. And if there's any, you know, anything to recoup from that, if there's going to be any benefits, it's supposed to go to, Chris Watts. But because he's been convicted of murdering them, I highly doubt in any legal area he'd ever be the beneficiary in that sense. So naturally, because all of the people related, I know, Sherry, this is a crazy case, but naturally, because they're sorry, I lost my train of thought because I went over to the other live and answered something quickly there. But naturally, because there's no descendants that are alive that can take this over, which is where the beneficiary would have gone to, it's now sort of lying on the family. So, Frank Ruzick is going about the battle seeking the power of attorney to be able to handle, the sale of the house and collect the proceeds and things like that. So Nicole went to the police, gave the testimony as she had dated Chris. She told her story to police before Chris even confessed. Article in the news. Thank you for sharing that link, Rhonda. I really appreciate it. Watts cannot profit from anything. You got that right, Jules. I remembered your name. That's funny. Bad Bish. Nice name. Are we ever going to be able to see the videos of the doorbell cam? I don't know if that's ever going to get released. If it's something that was brought into evidence, then it's possible that it could be kind of distributed in a sense or shown. Sherry, what is this all about? That's okay. It's a case of Christopher Watts in Colorado. He was accused of strangling his 15-week pregnant wife, Shanann, and his two daughters, aged 3 and 4, Bella and Celeste. And, I should have said Celeste and Bella because she was the younger one. But regardless, they were all murdered, and he confessed to it and was just recently sentenced. So he got life consecutive sentences without the possibility of parole, and he was sentenced to an extra 84, 86 years on top of that. So he'll never see the light of day, and he'll never get to the parole board, thank goodness. Hopefully that helps fill you in there. And then Critter says he is an evil monster. Yes. I can't get my head around poor Bella. No kidding. Honestly, he didn't know that. I thought Chris having to pay them back. Chris is definitely going to have to pay them back. But let's face it. Well, how much is he really going to be able to pay them back from the proceeds that he's going to recoup in jail? Like, they make, a quarter of what minimum wage makes. And that's for like a daily wage and stuff. Like, he's never going to be able to substantially pay them back, but whatever he does kind of make, a lot of that's going to have to go to the family. So it won't be very much, but it's something to in order to make him feel that he's never going to be able to get out from underneath this. He's just constantly going to be drowning, you guys, you know? I would love to see the interrogation tape too. That would have been great. But that's kind of what the representative of the Watts family was trying to say, is that that wasn't handled properly and stuff. And it's like, if you had any qualm about how the process was handled for his confession, then you are far too late waiting for the sentencing hearing to say anything about that. You know, like that's kind of a stupid move on the legal part of that end. Like, holy. And love to see, yes, see the interrogation tape. Horrible to imagine their fear. No kidding. Yeah, especially Bella. Like, she was the older one. She knew something bad was happening and she was struggling hard. And it is 84 years. Thank you very much, DJ Richards. Hello, Don Wilkinson. Can't wait for you to get back. Can't wait to see you. Hang out, say hello. You've been gone on your vacation far too long. But anyways, he did not want to pay the child support for 3 kids. That's for sure. But murdering them, I feel like he's taken away all of his other rights now. Like, his whole life is ruined because of his choice, right? Definitely moron move. I can agree with that. She would have gladly given up child support to save their lives. Yeah, she probably would have. And I think that if she would have had any inclination that this would have been something he could have done, she probably would have never moved back home or moved back with him after being gone for like 10 weeks, right? How could he just leave them there, dump them, and act like nothing with his coworkers? I know, right? Like, how evil is that to just go into work like, he did nothing wrong and everything's normal. Bunny the Bear. Hi, Miss Sherry. Hi, Bunny the Bear. Sorry to go off topic here and ask again, but I live in England, UK. I don't know how it works in US. But are the Turpins in court this month? Yes, the Turpins start court this month. I'm not sure. I'd have to check to see. I think that there is some coverage that's allowed with that case. And there kind of always has been, actually. Kelly is saying, this is why there's a new drugstore on every street corner. I must have missed something, Kelly. Hi, Jahid. You've not been able to see. Sue says, can't believe he called the school. I know, right, Curtis? He called the school to unenroll those girls. I mean, if that's not a calculated cold move, I don't know what is, right? I mean, if he's already killed them and now he's calling the school to unenroll them so no one will be looking for them, hoping that he had bought time to sort of cover his tracks. Like, I totally agree. As no compassion, no heart. Please, Sherry, do not use the word inclination. Oh, okay. Why dare to be different? Please inform me why. Not be able to see autopsy reports. No, well, the autopsy reports were already out. And like I said, the autopsy reports do not show any serious bruising. There was no sexual abuse from any of the girls, no signs of that at all. No signs of being beaten, bruises or anything. Like, it was just the asphyxiation. And the coroner could tell that the girls were smothered with a pillow, I guess, or something like that. And then Shanann was strangled by hand. And there was just a tiny little mark from his fingernail on her neck. So, dislike using this verbiage with regard to anyone, but in addition to everything wrong about him, he is just plain stupid. I agree with you, Deb. Seriously want to beat the hell out of him. I hear you, Tracy. I'm missing comments here. Sue, go to 411 Now channel here on YouTube. He's done a fantastic job. Yay. Planned, you think? Yes, Sue. I think it was planned, definitely. And premeditated, like definitely he had some thoughts on what he was going to do wrong there. Oh, Chris used that word repeatedly in his interview? Really? Oh, I didn't know that, but okay. um, he practiced that for that interview? Yeah, he looks like he probably did practice a little bit, but he did look really kind of shocked too. Like the autopsy report shoot the theory of Shanann strangling the girls. Absolutely, because they were smothered. So I mean, obviously that wasn't Shanann. Maybe he's gone through so many emotions, but imagine her family. No doubt. And now the family, now knowing he did murder their grandparents. What? Sorry, Jules? How do they know he used bare hands with the children? He did not use bare hands with the children, and they could tell that. That's why the coroner said they were smothered. Hello, Donald Trump. You would breed me. I'm not sure that is yeah, don't get weird because I'll just block you. I honestly have no time, patience, or anything for that. You love my vids, Bunny the Bear? That's awesome. The Watts case is quite intriguing. And now that he's got his sentence, I think things are going to sort of calm down with this. And then we're going to pick it up with the Turpin case that's around the corner. And other interesting cases that I find along the way that sort of tug at me, I will definitely show. Thank you, Bunny the Bear. I'll show your comment. Needs to get a timeout. No doubt, Jules. Talk about like, sheesh, people. Hi, Raj. Yes, Tracy. Yes. Let's just try to move right along. I'm sure he's probably already logged off, realizing he wasn't going to get much attention. So thanks, but bye. McStays, Sue. On the porch, he looked like a teenager that was happy to go on his first date. Yeah, he did. Yeah, and he was texting Nicole after he had buried his family and dumped his daughters in the oil tanks. He had texted his new girlfriend to say like his family's gone, and it's like, seriously, like, what, you just thought that you're gonna go on living a happy normal life after you murdered your family? Because like that's pretty twisted mentally. And some people are saying that they think that something's mentally wrong with him. Come on, how can something be mentally wrong with him? But he has the forefront to think past all and think through his moves. He thought through talking to his coworker the night before they were even killed to tell his coworker he's going to go take care of the oil site, not to worry about it. He's got it. That was abnormal activity to begin with. So to say that he didn't know what he was doing and he's mentally challenged in some way is just a load of crap, in my opinion. He is not mentally challenged. He knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah, Sunkissed, I think we'll always have a troll here, there, everywhere. I just wish I had as many viewers on my channel as our favorite lawyer, Scott Reich. He had like 700 people watching his live. I was just so, I was like kind of envious. I won't lie. I was like, oh, I wish I could get, that kind of a viewing, but whatever. I'm happy that he's doing so well. He literally started after me and he's got like 3 times the subscribers. So I'm happy for him. I just wish I could get there too, because my expertise are just as good. I'm just not a criminal practicing lawyer, but I do have the legal background. I have the legal diploma. It's hanging literally right in my back, right there, hanging up there. I love my diploma, and I've even shown everybody my results to prove that I do have some worthiness here to be talking about these kinds of things with you guys. All right, where are we at with comments? I know that mixed days start in January. All right, I will definitely look into that. Where's my pen? And has anybody been following with the fires in California? I mean, come on, that is just crazy. So I'll look up that case later. Chris Watts did think he could get away with it. He thought her family would just accept that she left without a trace. Like, come on, her whole family and her were very close. Hi, Rosie, Rosita. He simply has no conscience. Absolutely right. You know, for him to go through all the trouble that he went through to cover everything up is what tells me that he knew exactly what he was doing. The fires are absolutely terrible. The good news is, though, that 96% of the Wolseley fire is contained, and it has burned over 96,000 acres. But the campfire, 700 people are still missing, with 17,000 structures destroyed. Almost 13,000 of those are people's homes and residences. 151,000 acres completely destroyed. Now, rain is coming. They're supposed to, kind of calm things down out there, to be honest with you. But I think that could also bring some other complications. It could cause flash flooding. It could create for the ground to be really difficult to go through. It could wash away DNA for people who are sort of trapped under rubble that are burnt alive. Crazy situation. Rescuers out there are frantic. FEMA is literally processing like 1,500 people a day, you guys, and 70% of the campfire is contained. So, I mean, that's quite a bit, I guess, but it just seems to be reoccurring and starting up in all these other areas. And it's just scary. I did notice that the Sierra Nevada, Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, they are going to be starting a beer called Resilience Butte County Proud. So IPA or something like that. And it's starting on November 27th. If you guys are interested in sort of purchasing this product, I guess the proceeds are going to go to help anybody in that area. Let's see what we got for comments. Sorry, guys. Once I get talking, I can't read and talk. He was much worse than Scott Peterson. You're going to have to take a look into the Watts case, and I will get there with my subs. Aw, thank you so much, Bunny the Bear. I really appreciate your support. Nicole was a good friend. Everybody needs a Nicole. No kidding. I could use a few Nicoles, I won't lie. But you remember another murder in Colorado unsolved, the John Benet Ramsey. Yes, that was a pretty crazy case too, right? And that, I don't think the John Benet Ramsey case has ever been solved. Scott Reich, he had incorrect facts. I didn't hear about that, Sunkist, because he's a criminal practicing attorney. He literally had the transcript from the November 6th guilty plea, which was really cool. And he was reading us some of that. And he had a copy of the autopsy reports. So that was pretty cool to hear as well. As soon as I get the flyers, Sherry, you'll put them around. I have mailed them. For those of you who have said that you'll help me with those, I have already mailed all of those out. With the fires, it's going to be ran mudslides, remains will wash away. Yes. And with over 700 people still missing, that's kind of pretty scary. Let's hope that they get a chance to really, I don't know, get some extra help in there to really look through things before it rains, is the only thing I could think of. Jahid, I don't know why you keep typing things and then taking them away, but if you could stop that, please. It's kind of annoying, I'm not going to lie. Like, stop bothering Tracy too. I don't know. Anyways. Thank you for the compliments. Good for you, Tracy. Christopher Watts' interview, all I heard was the word like. Yeah, eh? Bye, Jade. Oh my goodness. Have a great day. You've got to go. Okay, see you later too, Crazy Alex. Thanks for joining us today for sure. Um, and hello to Virginia and Will. We're following the Christopher Watts case, the sentencing hearing that literally just happened yesterday. Alert, alert. Love that sun kiss. Yes, yeah. No problem, Tracy. I don't know what it is. I think it's the fact that the East Indian culture, and I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form, but in that culture, they definitely don't get to see anybody's face. So for them, this is very, very sexual. They see all of my skin like this, and to them, automatically, it's sexual, and it sucks because it makes you not want to answer the phone or talk to them, because a lot of them don't even know how to talk English properly. So then they call and they just want to look at you. And it's so frustrating. Like I've stopped answering calls from a lot of that culture because of that situation. And I am in no way, shape, or form racist at all. But I also don't want to feel like I'm used, that someone's calling just to stare at me because they think I'm pretty. Like, I don't know. I have other things I got to do. I've got research I got to cover. I've got stories I got to edit. I have way too much work to be doing than to be just, a pretty face visual for somebody. Like, I guess it benefits me in a sense, because maybe, some of my YouTube platform might really just enjoy looking at me and listening to me. But Natalie, you're too funny. His dang shirt liking was most emotional. Yes, his shirt. Are you talking about the one that he was on the interview on TV with, or it's it's not racist? PC madness. Eye candy, yeah. I guess so. It's yeah, different standard, eh? No disrespect, Jahid, but this isn't a hookup chat. The compliments are nice, but like I said, this isn't about that. I totally agree. And I like to keep my channel professional and just interactive, and we're all gorgeous people, Trace. So thanks so much. I don't want that to take away from what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is trying to spread awareness about different cases, about staying safe, about thinking about things in different ways. Um, you know, Stuff like that. So the Tar Heel shirt. Scott Race channel is okay, but you think it's overrated, Rosita? Well, I think he's definitely grown, and I wish that I could grow that fast. I don't know what's holding me back or what's creating for me to not get, to the 10,000 plus, but I try to be different, and maybe it's my difference that's hurting me. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. It's beautiful, Sherry. It's beautiful and intelligent. Oh, thank you. Bunny, East Coast time in the U.S. Oh, okay. Just as good as Scott. I agree, and I think that because he's a practicing attorney, he maybe has a little bit, a little bit more knowledge than what I have, because he's been a practicing criminal attorney for 23 plus years. Whereas I'm a legal assistant, so I would be somebody who would work kind of with him. So his expertise would bounce off of mine. It is not morning time here. I chose to start my live this afternoon this time, and I think that we're going to regularly do this for the afternoon in order to hit as many viewers as possible. So I've combined it so that I do my live on Facebook at the same time, so they kind of get a good feel of who I am and what I do on my channel. And I'm funny too. Well, that's great. That's a good thing. I'm sure not everybody would agree with you though, but you feel really helpless for the California friends. Yeah, no kidding. I think a lot of people are going to be coming together for this tragedy. I mean, Paradise was literally just wiped out. Like there is no more homes, there's no more structures. It is just ashes. Um, Shoot, I just realized that I'm using my other device for the Facebook Live, and I've got photos on there to show you, and that I'm sure you've seen them already. It's the stuff mostly on the news um, that's showing Paradise, just completely ashes. Like it's just what anything that was there is gone now. All livelihood of any kind. Like it's crazy. It looks like it looks like World War III there. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Many Watts supporters were changing their tune. Interesting to see their comments flip flop. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I chose to stay neutral, because I wanted to see the evidence and know that what I was sort of thinking or perceiving was correct. And not just running with whatever the media was saying, when he had brought in the stories of Shanann and what she had supposedly done, that ended up not being true at all. And can somebody please tell me if we have any, professionals in the medical field watching right now? Is there a possibility that the blood alcohol level can be raised after you're deceased? Because Shanann had a blood alcohol level of 0.128, you guys. And I mean, she was pregnant. So it's like, what was going on there? What happened? Did she actually drink, before coming home off the plane or something? Or like, I don't know. I don't know. Somebody said something about how um your blood alcohol level raises, that can happen, like the autopsy report or something was stating something along that line. I really don't know. Jan loves you. Subs to subs, guys. I will show that. And mm, wish there was a way that I could block this guy. I'll have to do it after I get off the live. Anyways, decomposition can cause it. Is that's what you're saying? Okay, so can it? Excuse me. Can the decomposition of a human body raise the blood alcohol content level that high? Or is it possible that she did have some alcohol in her system? Missing people, like Magnum said. Sorry, did I miss Magnum's comment? There's some interesting open investigation of missing people. You can look into some of these. Yes, absolutely. Missing people is something that I do want to look more into to share other stories, you guys. I have a great personality, very intelligent, all wrapped up for us. Aw, thanks, Alan. That's really sweet of you. He ain't that great. Sunkissed. Who's SR? Excuse me. He speaks so much sense. Other YouTubers on these cases talk shoit. Shoit? Is that what that word is? Bunny the Bear? I don't know. Is your channel name catchy enough? I don't know, Elena. Do you have any ideas that I could use? Or because I thought the true stories would be a good thing, but please tell me if you have any suggestions. And Scott is wrong. Why is Scott wrong, Jules? You're an Aussie, Judy Hansen? Cool. Living in Australia. I bet you have the coolest accent. That's so neat. I really enjoy my live stories. I'm very interesting to listen to. I really enjoyed your Christopher Watts segments. Aw, thank you. Well, that's very sweet of you. For the info, do you think about the psychic reading bids on Jayme Closs's case? Well, I think, you know what? Whatever we can do to help. And if that's going to help find her, then let's give it a try. You know what I mean? Like, it can't hurt to try it, is all I gotta say. The girl's been missing for over a month already. I think that everything is worth a shot, right? Oh, Scott Reich. Oh, right. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I was thinking Shanann, and I was like, what? Sorry. Anyways, the decomposing body raises the alcohol level and in everyone. Okay, all right. He reported incorrect facts yesterday. Scott Reich. Okay, because he said decomposition did not raise blood alcohol levels, and they do. Okay. Bye, Jahid. Thank you. Have a good day. Um, Bunny the Bear, you're saying, yeah, you said it right. I said it right. The shoit, shoit. That's a cool word. I really like it. um, Critters commenters are actually saying they have a crush on Reich. I could kind of see it. I don't know. He's not like the best looking, but he's not bad. I don't know if he's married though. He's probably married. Shanann Watts had ingested alcohol, and that is completely untrue. Alcohol levels due to decomposing. So, Natalie, can the alcohol levels be that high in decomposing bodies, or? And then Jules, you're saying, and so that's so it started people now suggesting either Shanann was a drunk or Watts drugged her with wine. So it's all started again, trashing her. Oh my goodness. Well, I was a little curious and I had never heard about the blood alcohol level, you know, like that. So I was a little bit like, it's funny. They probably imagine him flying them around in his plane. Sheesh. That is a huge thing to get wrong, in my opinion. Natalie, no kidding, right? I wish that the coroner sort of would have stated that a little bit more clearly then. Ah, well, we're not going to be doing any FUs to Shanann because I honestly think she was a beautiful soul. She was strong, you know. She was a go-getter, which is admirable. The environment that she was buried in, plus the decomposition, is what raised the alcohol level. Okay. See, and I was just like, how does that happen? But I'm no medical expert either. And I wouldn't want to claim something I don't actually know. That's polite to use shoit instead of shit. Oh, that's a good one, Elena. I did not know that. All right. YouTube doesn't demonetize. Okay. Jahid, stop. Seriously. Uh, Jules, yes, she was pregnant. She was drinking wine in many of her videos. But was she pregnant when she was drinking wine in her videos? Because I don't know about that. She seemed like somebody who cared deeply about her body and pregnancy and things like that, right? So that kind of threw me for a loop. I was just like, what is this all about? At the end of the day, poor woman's dead and she didn't deserve it. Exactly, Annie. And her poor babies. You've got that right, like 110%. Let there be rain for California. It is supposed to be coming. Now, hopefully, it's not too much all at once and just enough to sort of dampen, the area so that the fires can cease over there. And then I did hear that they're supposed to be bringing in some like trailers and things like that for people because everybody was tenting in a flood zone area. They've all had to move their tents and stuff. So even if she had one glass or none, that's up to her. Yes, that's true, Jules. That is very true. Maybe he did give her alcohol or something because she didn't fight back. Well, I don't know. See, that's what's confusing. Is like, was she asleep when he grabbed her neck and killed her, or what? I'm saying reporting that false alcohol level thing, like as if she came home that night wasted. Oh, yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, and I don't want my live to turn into that because that's not what this is. I was just inquiring about that. Jan says, what cause you if you drink too much alcoholic liquids? Okay. It does raise after death by over twice the driving limit. Interesting. Does anybody know why that happens to the body? I would love to know. Yeah, Jahid, we are not interested in kissing and marrying and all this stuff. So stop doing this to my channel, please. I don't appreciate it. And it will only create for me to block you as soon as I'm finished on every single site that I see your name. So I suggest, this is your warning, that you stop before I just take you out of everything that I have. The autopsy reports were with the coroner. Ethanol was in the girls too. I did not read that. I think he may have had something to do with her alcohol level because there were no signs of a struggle. That to me tells me that maybe she was sleeping or something. I don't know. It does rise after death by over twice the legal limit. Yes, but how and why is what I'm wondering. The whole thing is drinking while pregnant is so frowned upon. Yes, that is the whole thing. But I mean, at the same time, to each their own is something I've always said from day one on my channel. But it does make me wonder, like how does the blood alcohol level content raise? Hi, honey, hi bee. I almost said honey, but I meant hi bee. So I guess we have two. This Shengisi Toimoshi is also going to get blocked as soon as I'm finished because he or she also is being very inappropriate. And there's no need for that. So I'll just find your guys' names on every single social media site I have and unfriend you and block you because I don't need this. Wolf, I can't say your full name because you've made it inappropriate. But what happened is Christopher Watts killed his pregnant wife and 2 daughters in Colorado this past August. And he was just sentenced to consecutive life sentences without parole. Mr. Toy Moshi, stop bothering me. We're going to be blocking you as soon as I get off live. I don't care. We're talking about cases and criminals, and that has nothing to do with feet or sexuality or souls or anything. So go away, seriously. No kidding. I guess the trolls are just all over the place today. Whatever, though. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody's just sick in the head, clearly. As soon as I get off live, you guys, I'll find these people's names and get them blocked so they can't bother us the next live because I don't appreciate or tolerate any of this. You're coming to Canada for Christmas, are you? Well, dress for the weather because it's cold. And no, Wolf, we weren't saying you were a troll. There's some other people on here that are being trolls and being absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, I will definitely take care of the nonsense, Natalie, as soon as we finish with our live today, because I have already tried to go into the setting and take people out of the chat, and it won't allow me, which is something I think that YouTube should have as a feature for people who do pop into channels and they're not wanted or needed and they're being inappropriate. There's no way to report it and there's no way to get them out of the channel. So until you're off the live, and that's too bad. Loser alert, love it. Okay, block them. Yes, no problem, Jules. How could she not fight back? That's what makes me think she was asleep, Bad Bish. I love that name. It's so cool. I'm like, I wish I would have thought that, but whatever. So clearly I have my settings set so that you assholes can't just post whatever the hell you want to say. And I'm saying that in the sheerest sense that I can to you. But everything that you're trying to post up that's rude is being withheld because I did that a long time ago. So to your comments that aren't going to be getting through, and I really don't care. And as soon as I get off, I'll just definitely be taking care of this riffraff. Shanann was asleep when he strangled her. That's exactly what I think, Sunkissed. We did talk a little bit about the autopsy reports. So for anybody who didn't know, the girls were definitely not in hot oil. So if any of the viewers that are on here now thought that their bodies were literally being cooked in the oil tanks, that's incorrect information. Somebody embellished a detail that was incorrect. That oil was cold and they were not cooked, and that evidence of DNA and everything was kept and preserved due to the oil, you guys. Yeah, Jules, don't worry. I will definitely be blocking. And Bella did wake up and she had bite marks on her tongue. So she was frantically trying to fight back, to not take her last breath. And for it to take 4 minutes to actually strangle somebody, that's a long time and a very personal type of crime, right? I mean, so personal to take that much time putting your hands around someone's neck or smothering them with something. That takes a lot of time. Okay, I'm going to try that now. Oh, good. I can just report them. Nice. I wonder if that will delete. That's probably going to delete all of his stuff now. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we got that one done. Nice. It deleted all of his crap comments. Sorry for the finger to all of you guys. That was not directed at you, but I was like, holy, like, get out of here, dude. Who the hell are you? Anyways, please pay attention to Rumpelstiltskin. Sorry, Jules, what were you saying? We knew they weren't embellished. They were clickbait. Thank you. I didn't know what the heck was going on, but somebody kept coming at me with like, hey, I heard that the oil was hot. And if you think about the meat that you put in your slow cooker and how that cooks on a very low temperature, it falls off the bone. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's not what happened, because the coroner was able to preserve all the DNA that was under their nails and everything. Well, Bella fought. Cece didn't have anything under the autopsy. Sorry, I just have to report someone else. We received your report if we find this content to be a violation. It will be a violation because it is hate speech. And I hope you get blocked altogether off of YouTube, to be honest. Hopefully they have that kind of a guideline, because they require for us to follow guidelines, and so they should also require others that are viewers to do the same. So I'm going to hide this user so we don't see any of your crap. And I worked as a designer in a chemical plant. I had to get medical clearance to even go near the toluene tank area. Well, I'm sure he had clearance to go there, and maybe there was only a few of them that could, right? But that the fact that he was texting the coworker the day before they were even murdered or buried at that oil site shows that he was planning what he was going to do. So he knew well ahead of time. If she had only known that before getting home, I'm sure she would have never walked through that door and waved goodbye to Nicole. I feel so bad for Nicole. Like, that's all she did was drop her friend off at home, and that was the last time she saw her best friend. Like, oh my gosh. No, there was none of the oil was in their bodies because they were dumped in there after. They were dumped in after they were dead, so he had not harmed any animals as a child. Well, I don't think that that really matters, Sunkissed, whether he harmed animals as a child. You know, Yeah, Shanann did try to save the marriage. I think that's why his social media sites were all deleted, was because she probably found out some information about him. And, she found out that he was talking to other women. And she told him it was like her and his daughter or nothing, right? I'm sure that's why his social media sites were deleted. His mother said a lot of things which were not inappropriate. Well, Jules, it may not have been inappropriate, but it was certainly an inappropriate time for them to have said any of those comments. They could have done that on a private phone call. They could have done that on a visit. They could have done that in a letter. They didn't need to use the victim impact statement, which was for Bella and Celeste, to tell Christopher all of those lovely things that they still love and care and forgive him and all that stuff. That's great. But that you really chose a crappy time to go ahead and say that. Like, that was time that was supposed to be for Bella and Celeste, not to showcase Christopher, not to showcase their parents' love for Christopher. None of that. And I'm sorry if I sound harsh, but like, that was like 5 minutes out of the whole world's time. And they chose to take like 4.5 of those minutes to talk about their son, the murderer. Like, they could have spent at least half of that time talking about Bella and Celeste. Like, I don't know. Yes, Francis Baca. I have already reported and blocked the people that I don't need on here. Like, there's some people that just. Scott Reich said oil was found in the girl's lungs. No, that would not be correct. The girls were dead before they got in there. Maybe it would have been inside their mouth, but they wouldn't have been able to swallow it. They were already dead. So there's no way it would be in their body. Yes, I reported them, Tracy. Annie thinks that his mother is vile, and Deb thinks the toluene was in the autopsy reports for Bella. I think that that was just an ingredient of the oil that was in the autopsy report. So true. Mother Watts is inappropriate, period. Sunkiss says. Chris spared the dog. Dare to be different. Buffering. Jules says it's buffering. Well, Jules, all I basically said was I found that to be in a very inappropriate time for Christopher's parents to take the victim impact statement time to use that time and talk to their son about how much they love him and forgive him. Maybe what they said to Christopher Watts was not inappropriate, but they certainly chose an inappropriate time to state that comment. They could have said it in a letter. They could have said it in a phone call. They could have said it, in a personal visit, face to face. But they didn't need to use the victim impact statement to tell their son how much they love him and forgive him. That was the part that I felt was very inappropriate. Many murders start out with killing animals. That's true. But apparently Christopher Watts never had that kind of an upbringing. He was very kind. He was very soft-spoken. When you run around, you can't have social media. That's very true. But I think that she probably caught him on some things inappropriately. And that is why she told him to get rid of the social media accounts. If anybody on here has ever been in a cheating relationship, that's usually the first thing to go is social media, because it's just an alley, a way for people to become unfaithful. You feel like you're talking to somebody else, you feel like the grass is greener on the other side, so you give it a shot. I'm sure it wasn't the first time that she had found out about him cheating and told him, like, ultimatum time, it's us or you know, your infidelity life or whatever. We get a divorce and you're out of the house and all this kind of stuff. He had more compassion for the dog. Yeah. Did his mother want us to feel sorry for him? Annie, it's possible that that's why she was doing that. It was the wrong platform, in my opinion. It didn't work. You're right. And had everyone known about the call to the school and the real estate agent, there would have been like zero speculation about him doing this. No doubt. No doubt, Natalie. I don't know if Denver is really twisted. I think that there's really twisted things that happen all around the world. And this just so happened to happen in Denver, Colorado, kind of thing. Frederick, Colorado, right? Cindy Watts, meet the mother, known the man. Something up with that woman. That's messed up. Agree, wrong platform all around. He is nothing but a monster, and I know he will be harmed in prison. Absolutely, I'm sure. I agree, Judy will be harmed. Yeah, he will be harmed. Magnum says it really was bad timing on their part. I totally agree. Don't know if Chris will be harmed in prison. Scott Peterson and Christian Longo seem to be doing fine. Well, like I said, if he's probably going to stay in protected population, you guys. This happened August 13th, 12th, 13th. Blood is thicker than water. We would like to think so, but that's not always the case. Mine particularly is not. My blood is water, and then there's water that is my blood, So yes, it was bad timing. They should have focused more on their grandchildren. Exactly. That victim impact statement was their right about their grandchildren, not their right to declare their undying love for their murderous son. And I mean, I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't have said anything like that or they shouldn't have any feelings of love for their son. Go for it. Who wouldn't want to love their child anyways, even if they've done something wrong, right? But at the same time, you were using that right for you to state how you felt about missing your grandchildren due to his actions. You used that and told your son how much you love him and you forgive him, and you spent literally 30 seconds talking about your grandchildren. That's disgusting. Come on. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm a mother too, and like I said, I would love my kid no matter what the hell he did or she did, but at the same time, like I wouldn't be using my victim impact statement to do that. He may very well get killed in prison. That's very possible. I am in Canada, Bunny the Bear. Agreed. I would have been completely ashamed to speak so highly about a monster I raised. No kidding. Karma finds its way, Wolf. You're right about that. And Scott Peterson is still in protective custody, of course. All of the child killers and women killers stay in protective custody. That's not to say that, a corrupt guard might let an inmate in on the other side for 5 minutes or look the other way or whatever. That has happened, right? So, but I guarantee you he's going to stay in protective custody. There's absolutely no way they would ever put this guy, Christopher Watts, in regular population. He'll literally get killed like the same night he's in there. There's no way. So they have to kind of protect him. Thumbs down this diatribe. What? Sorry. Ribby. Is that Kelly, I think? My family would not love me if I ever did that. Magnum 74, I hear ya. Hi, Linda. Hi, B. Hi, Francine. Would he be able to write a book? It's possible, Yvette. Who would want to take the time and money to publish? I don't know. But it's very possible that somebody's going to write a book about this. And maybe they'll give the proceeds to Shanann's family for the funeral costs and stuff. That would be awesome, you know. But he definitely can't profit. There's no way. Like, well, you know, I'm sure he could sell his story for a little bit of money for his side of it and stuff like that, you guys, but Canada. Mwah. Friendly Canadians. If I wrote a book about this case, I would consider titling it is not murder, cleanup, interrupted. Yeah, Francine, eh? You screwed up above. Oh well, that's fine. That's a decent title. He sure was interrupted. Yeah. Conversation, rude comment. Oh, okay. Did you see the video of Shanann telling Chris don't choke the dog? Yes, I do have that video up on my timeline as well. I think I have close to 40 videos, excuse me, with Christopher Watson stuff, information in there. So any profits would go to the family for restitution. That's very, very, very true. Dare to be different. Human decaying process biology. Are you talking about the blood alcohol level again, Sunkissed? Excuse me. And the proceeds go to Shanann's family. Yeah, Sharon, that would seem like, you know, the honorable good thing to do, because I honestly don't see them taking away any proceeds from the house sale. Um, you know, they're just in so much debt with that. The fact that it's an unfinished building area, I think would lower its value a little bit right now. What was the killer's reaction to his parents' impact statement? The parents' impact statement. Well, from which side? Are you talking about Shanann's side or his side, his family side? Steve, I'm asking you that question. I speak like your old boss in the oil patch. She was from Saskatchewan, very similar. Oh, that's cool. He looked up at Frankie Jr., and he did look up at one point at his parents. He did shed tears. His family, well, the victim impact statement wasn't really followed like properly, Steve. Like, I couldn't believe that they stood up there and spent maybe 30 seconds talking about their hi B, I am here. I'm just doing a live video talking about this case right now. Is there a reason that you've like grabbed my attention for something, or like you can't hear I'm in the middle of talking about this case? Anyways, so basically they use their victim impact statement to tell Christopher how much they love him and forgive him. Instead of telling him how they feel about not having their grandchildren around, they spent like a fraction of time on that and then jumped into a whole time on how much they feel the process that wasn't handled properly about Christopher Watts's case, his confession was not handled properly, and how much they love him and forgive him. You know, I think Oxygen might come out with a mini documentary on it. They've been around here lately. Okay. So, Steve, the victim impact statement, in my opinion, wasn't really a victim impact statement. They used it as an alley to sort of shed a brighter, better light on their son, which really it didn't work, you know. Apparently, Lifetime Channel had been camped out in Frederick for weeks so they can put a movie together, according to 411. Well, that's pretty cool. Nicole would know if she, I don't know what that word is, sunkissed. Embedded on plane. Who would want to live? What is this question? Who would want to live in the Watts house after they found out that the house is murdered and that people were murdered in that house? You know, I don't know. I think that people thought that Shanann was such a good woman that, somebody would probably scoop it up. I don't, maybe even somebody who doesn't know the history at all about the house. It's probably better that maybe that's not necessarily disclosed. I don't know. You don't believe that she drank on the plane? Okay. I was kind of shocked to, I don't think they're going to demolish the house though, Yvette, but I was kind of shocked to hear about that blood alcohol level. You feel so sad for her brother, Pamela says. He looks as if he has lost, yeah, a lot of weight. No kidding, right? Disgusting, right? Critters about the movie. Like, let this woman rest already, Natalie says. He looked very worn out, but that was the one person that Christopher looked up at as he was standing there. And, Frankie Jr. looked over at him at one point during his victim impact statement, and Christopher and him didn't meet eyes, but I wish they would have. Feel terrible for Shanann's dad and brother. Highly doubt. Let this innocent victim rest at last. Absolutely. And it's nice that we have a little bit of closure to the case, right? I mean, the district attorney did disclose some some evidence to us, and what was sort of presented to Chris to make him say he was guilty, right? I don't think we're ever going to know why he did it, And then I just have like a really weird question, but there have been a few people that have messaged me telling me that I look like LA Henna. She has a channel on YouTube as well. I don't know that I look like LA Henna. I've never seen what she looks like. And I was kind of curious if anybody who's watching maybe has seen what she looks like. And does she look like me? Because somebody thinks, there's a few people that think that we're the same person. And I don't know where anybody got that information from, but that's not the case. We're two different people, two different countries, even two different channels, Michael Rourke was awesome. The way that he, even the way that he was able to read out the victim impact statement of Frankie Jr., was really nice to see. It was really nice to see him have so much. Well, Hannah chats short. Minu, stop it. Mommy's not playing with you right now. Sheesh, sorry, I got distracted because of my cat there. But Michael Rourke and the way that he read the victim impact statement, well, that's what I was going to say, for Frankie Ruzick Jr., he definitely, came up on the forefront of that, right? So level-headed. He was, Sherry, must be. Okay, watch your tail. Come up here already. Crying out loud. So level-headed he was, Sherry. I know, right? I mean, the district attorney, very, very, I think he's really informative, even down to the way that he handled presenting the case to the judge. Like I thought that he did that with a lot of class, Your daddy called. That's why I got cut off for a few minutes. That's fine, Sharon, no problem. But does anybody have like any last minute questions about any of the North California fires, the Camp Fire, Wolseley fire, the California fires, the Christopher Watts case, or Jayme Closs missing case, or the Turpin trial coming up. If nobody's got any other, questions about these cases or anything else that they want to say, I'm probably going to wrap this up pretty soon here. And just be warned, you guys, I will share that, like, I will share the fact that we're going to be changing the times of doing the live shows, because I found that not enough people were able to participate due to the time zones and the differences. I've decided to start this later in the afternoon, so around lunchtime. That's for me for GMT time. So if I'm going to start it at 12 GMT time, you guys will just have to type in what the difference is on Google, and it'll give it to you. Anything new on Jayme? The hunting season in Wisconsin has started. So basically the only new thing we've got for her right now is the fact that the hunting season is starting, and they want them to keep an eye out for, clothing or anything that's like out of the norm, or, disturbed ground, any leaves piling and things like that. Natalie, a plague somewhere in town, so they never forgotten. Francine, I'm sorry, you're talking about a plague somewhere in town. I'm not sure what you mean. You like her channel? She is following the Turpin case as well. Yes, she is. I don't understand why some people think that we're the same person, because LA Henna and I are two different people in two different countries. So, and then somebody had messaged me privately saying that we look alike, and I was like, I've been trying to find any photos of her, and I can't find anything. So I honestly don't know. Steve, what was your question? Anything new on Jayme? Yes. Okay. And I did answer that. And then Jules, you're saying ethanol is in Bella and Celeste. It states in the autopsies. A pregnant woman can have a glass of wine. To each their own, I say on that one. Not everybody drinks when they're pregnant. Most people quit, but everybody's different. So I will be starting my live shows regularly Tuesdays and Saturdays around 12 noon GMT time for me. So please Google what the time zone difference is. Mark it on your calendars if you'd like. And, feel free to come join in. All comments are welcome. All thoughts are allowed. It doesn't matter how far-fetched or whatever it is, we are allowed to be open here and talk about most anything. Let's see any last minute comments here. It's been a good choice I've made with the time, Sherry. Thank you, Annie. It was inappropriate, Jules, you're saying, to say they forgive him. Wonder how Shanann's family felt. Well, probably a little bit inappropriate, I would imagine, because that's the way I saw it. And just having a smidgen of this kind of the legal background on me, and I felt that, I don't know, like, I think that a lot of people probably saw that as a little too much on their part. You just proved their erroneous theory. No kidding. Stanley, good afternoon. Random fishing channel, dropping by various live streams, leaving likes. Oh, that's great, Stanley. Well, I'm so happy that you joined us. We are discussing the Christopher Watts sentencing hearing that just passed yesterday. We're also discussing the missing persons case of Jayme Closs in Wisconsin and the California fires. So it's been a full show today, and I'm glad to have you come by. And Francis, I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, Pamela. Saw an interview with the family on Gray Hughes. Okay. Jayme Closs's case is very mysterious. Which cases am I following? I'm following the Turpin trial. I'm following the Jayme Closs case. I'm following the California fires. I followed the Christopher Watts case, and there's a few others just sort of randomly in there as well. Little Lily G, I heard the alcohol was due to decomposition. Yes, that is what we are all sort of discussing here today. And Tracy, I hope you have a wonderful day. Please do lives later in the day. You have to sneak and watch at work. I totally understand, Natalie. You tried to cancel payment on my PayPal, but it's already complete. Oh, shoot. Kelly, were you not wanting to send something? If you want, I can send that back to you. Cloud, Ninu, stop it. Sheesh. Cat fight going on. Like, what the heck? The DA has kept things closed as they were expecting a trial. It was to protect the trial. Yes, absolutely. The babies were sucking up all the chemicals in the oil tanks. No, they weren't. The oil that was in their, it kind of on their bodies, you guys, and put into the autopsy report was the oil that was in their skin. You know, they weren't alive when they were dropped in there, so they weren't breathing or swallowing any of it. They were already dead. So you'll search the time zones, Francine, okay? Okay, Kelly, I can refund you. Annie, they are hurting badly. Interviews, their contempt on their daughter-in-law was cruel. Steve, and if there's anybody who would like to donate to my PayPal, the link is on my channel here. I do accept all donations from anybody. And yes, Kelly will do. Natalie, LA doesn't show her face, so you're not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure either why somebody thinks that we look alike. Annie, it was Rumple. Magnum 74. If it wasn't such a tragedy, it would have been commercial, and how bad their timing was. Wednesday 3 it's Wednesday 3:30 a.m. Well, it's only 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon here, Judy Hansen. So it looks like you might have to possibly record and watch later or something, because the time difference is too much for you. You are literally like on the next day. So you must be on the other side of the world. Callie Flores says she did not drink alcohol. The DA addressed it directly in the press conference. The medical examiner confirmed that the splendic blood had alcohol due to the process of decomposition. Okay, I totally appreciate you clarifying that, Kelly. Callie, sorry. And you're welcome, Kelly. So it's 2:35, Sharon, where you are. So we only have about an hour's difference. And you have 7:30, Rumple Stiltskin, which is Jules. So Amish has 1:05 p.m. So we're only about half an hour difference. Thank you for the broadcast. Definitely take care, and we'll talk again soon, Steve. Stay tuned for Saturday afternoon for the next live show. It's 7:30 here in the UK. Okay, so yeah, so the only person I'm concerned with for timeline wise right now then is Judy, because she's literally sitting at 3:30 in the morning right now over where she is. Where are you, Judy? Holy cow. Animesh, can I your name once? I don't know what CL means, but okay. I'm glad I got to see you live, and thanks for sharing. You're welcome, Sharon, and thanks for joining. And I hope everybody does have a great day today. And I hope you enjoyed the discussion of all these different cases. Um, and we'll definitely touch base again this weekend, and we'll do it towards the afternoon again, if not a little bit after lunch. Maybe we'll see how it goes. And I just feel awful because Judy seems to be the only person that can't necessarily catch us unless she's up in the middle of the night. So, all right, it's 8:30 p.m. there in Nigeria. So just different time zones. If you're wanting to catch my live, just know that I go by GMT time. So love ya and chat, hun. Love and the chat, hun. I'll be watching your new vids whenever you upload them. Be watching the live chat Saturday. Bye for now. Mwah. Definitely we'll stay tuned, and I do share stories pretty regularly. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and stay tuned for the weekend's live show. We'll do that one in the afternoon as well. And hopefully we'll have some better information about the California fires and any rain that happened and whatnot. And hopefully we find all the rest of the missing people. If you know anybody in that area, you should get them, if they're missing anybody, to send in a sample of their DNA to be able to match up with whatever remains are found. I know that that is something that authorities have been asking of people. No, Lisa Moran, that's incorrect. Christopher Watts used something to smother his daughters. He used his hands on his wife only. So I appreciate all of your viewing, and feel free to shoot me any private messages if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that. Hi Be Sent, the way that you find me on YouTube is just under my name, Sherry Weens, same as you see it on Facebook. I have 3 channels. One of them is for ideas. The other one is for women empowering women. And then the main one, this one here, is for true crime stories and things like that. Oh. All right. So I've got to go take care of my cats because they're like fighting like cats and dogs. And hi B, maybe I'll send you a link. I think I have sent you a link in the past, but maybe you just didn't get it or you didn't use it. I will send you the link. And if anybody has any other questions, just shoot them to me personally. And, you know, we'll definitely chat more this weekend in the afternoon. And I hope everybody has a really, really great day. So we'll take care out there, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now, folks.